The Republic of Guinea is located on the Atlantic coast of West Africa. It includes 4 natural regions. This documentary film was shot in Kolian Toly, the country's forest region in Guéckédou prefecture, and it highlights the practice of excision. Kolian Toly attracts visitors by its attachment to ancestral values, yet its openness to modernism. According to studies conducted in Guinea in 2012, 41% of girls between the ages of 5 and 9 years old have been excised. The practice of excision, which consists in removing one or more part of a woman's organ tissue, is an ancestral practice. According to this community, it preserves its cultural identity and honors the family. This documentary film will immerse the viewer in the traditional rites of the Cissé country. The initiation of girls takes place every year. At sunrise, women gather the girls who have yet to pass through the act of becoming women. These young girls were identified a year before. The parents of these girls are informed, all punctuated by song and dance according to the ancestral footprint of the Cissé culture. After this first step, the mentors of the children organize a food collection campaign for the girls' caring. The girls are housed together before the day of excision set by the Women's Council. The wait has been long for the girls, but the day finally arrives. All the surrounding villages are invited for the occasion. Girls are taken by their mother to a secluded corner of the bush where the act will take place.
The girls to be initiated are gathered and sheltered. A way of isolating them where ladies sing frightened songs all night long. But the girls to be excised do not know the meaning of those chants.
The healer carefully watches over the parcel of traditional medicine that she carries on her head.
In the morning at 6, you are picked and accompanied on the way by some ladies, while some of those ladies are waiting hidden with the excisors. Walking slowly like queens, at a certain area, you are stopped by one of the ladies, meaning that you are arrived on the excision ground.
After the excision, the women return to the village dancing, proof that no major incident has occurred. Later, the girls' parents give them gifts. The chief of the village thanks the group of circumcisers. Two weeks after the wound healing, initiation starts. The girls are draped in black cloths, and they are taught crafts and skills that they will need to know to live in the community. Weaving, making and using fishing nets and brooms are some of the activities they learn.
This is the ground where you are told all the secrets of the sacred forest while educating you. How to behave yourself in life and speak in public are taught to the incumbents. Some of these teachings are that it is forbidden to a lady to cross road before men, but to do so, she must lower herself. A lady must not elevate the voice in public, and she is bound to respect her husband. You are also taught that lady never gets right over her husband, and whatever be her discontentment against the husband, she ought to keep it home.
After this stage, singing and dancing are taught to the girls. These songs and dances express joy after initiation. The bodies of the girls are smeared with kaolin clay, their hair is braided, and raffia fabric is tied around their hips. This apparel is made to attract girls who have not yet been circumcised, to minimize fear and pain. Of the circumcised girls, 2 girls' hair is braided differently. Tuwo, in Cissé meaning the first excise, and in Dabi meaning the last. Old excisers, in turn, put the same clay paste on their forehead to distinguish themselves from other women in the group. The exciser is called Sokonotoma. She is always accompanied by an assistant who carries her bags which contain objects of excision and fetishes. Excised girls are forbidden to disclose the secret of the sacred forest to the non-excised ones risking their lives. They received this teaching from their mentors called Sima, who taught the girls to dance. They are the first to perform dance steps during the closing ceremony of excision. The entire village and its neighboring villages are invited to the grand ceremony of exiting the initiation camp. Water is given to the girls before their parents arrive to collect them. Parents who do not find their girls among the group automatically assume that their daughter died during the ritual. Girls who were excised at Kolian Toly say that they inherited this tradition from their parents.
I inherited this practice from my ancestors. That is what motivated me to organize these ceremonies of excision.
Those who continue the practice of excision sometimes use religious tradition to justify it.
In the mindset of the population, the phenomenon of feminine genital mutilation and early marriage is ruining top religious people. That's why the religious people, being aware of the danger of this practice, as explained by the doctors, have taken steps to protect our girls and ladies against excision as well as rape.
Le viol.
It must be said that excision is an ancestral practice back in time that have no place in the Bible or the ecclesiastical tradition. Therefore, the position of the Catholic Church is clear to say that excision is not a tolerated practice.
According to the Child Code of Guinea, female genital mutilation is prohibited. The practice has been banned since 1965. A joint order of the different ministries concerned equally condemned the practice. However, given the weight of tradition and custom, few officials dare to deal with the matter.
When people are summoned, they hardly show up. Most of the time, they are forced to appear in front of the officer. Excision is deep rooted into our customs and very sensitive. As soon as one exhibits its opinion about this practice, they step back from you.
Excision is considered a serious violation of human fundamental rights. It is a traumatic practice, painful, and can be followed by serious complications ranging from infection to death. In Guinea, it is prohibited by law regarding reproductive health that protects the physical integrity of women and also contains penal provisions against those who refuse to abide by the law.
There is no expressly stipulated law designed by the legislator against the feminine genital mutilations. However, jurisprudence have permitted to assimilate all that is ablation or castration as feminine genital mutilation. From the moment the principle is stipulated in the penal code by saying that every castration, ablation of masculine genital organ or feminine one can be punished by a criminal reclusion. This is enough clear for the judge.
97% of Guinean women were excised before the age of 15, and the consequences were many and varied. In most cases, there's bleeding, physical and psychological shock, genital lesion, urinary retention, infection, contamination by HIV, hepatitis B and C are all problems that some excised girls suffer from. For example, this girl is still complaining of pain since the ritual in the sacred forest.
When I got excised, I suffered a lot. My stomach was excessively aching me and I bled too much. I could hardly make a motion because I was not feeling my legs. Since that period, I always fall sick. This practice had the same negative impact on my physical development. I even feel ashamed amongst my friends who have never had such mutilation.
Some girls lose their lives due to heavy bleeding. The most illustrative case is that of little Kumba, who died at 5 years old following excision. Kumba was part of a group of 11 girls ranging from 5 to 12. Her grandmother still regrets her death.
Since the death of my little girl, my family is terribly shocked and we are suffering. We regret the death of little Kumba. Until now, I could not forget her death. It is now that I have realized the danger of this practice. My little girl was taken for excision and they came back to announce me her death instead of the good news. We are upset. This practice must stop to save and protect their lives. We are upset. This practice must stop to save and protect the lives of our little girls.
In addition to these problems, infibulation causes prolonged suffering during childbirth and fistulas. According to experts, excised women are exposed to major risks during pregnancy and childbirth.
It is not less frequent to see a circumcised lady with scars. With such scars, giving birth becomes a tricky issue because of complications caused by this practice. Most of the time, she must push so hardly that the head of the baby, while coming out, causes damages of the orifice. Surgery must be performed to heal the damage caused by the work of getting the baby out. It is not less frequent to see a circumcised lady with scars. With such scars, giving birth becomes a tricky issue because of complications caused by this practice. Most of the time, she must push so hardly that the head of the baby, while coming out, causes damages to the orifice. Surgery must be performed to heal the damage caused by the work of getting the baby out. The fetal head may show up some hematoma, and in such cases, the child must be reanimated. Those children most of the time develop epileptic crises.
Through the Ministry of Social Affairs, the Guinean government has conducted several actions to end FGM in Guinea.
Nowadays, we are training magistrate and justice auxiliaries. We are particularly trying with the classic schools to add a module focused on FGM on their training programs. Moreover, we are pursuing the integration through modules in the nursing schools.
Because of excision's cultural and traditional importance, the exciser of Kolian Toly provides an alternative that could save young girls from the practice without banishing important rites of passage into womanhood.
I would like the authorities to build training centers in the village where we shall educate our child with our customs and traditions instead of practicing excision.
In addition to Kolian Toly, excision is practiced in all the rural communities in Guinea. During the recent national campaign of religious leaders on FGM in Guinea, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Religious Affairs insisted on the prohibition of this practice. Ending excision will help young girls live full lives and be of service to their community.
Banana,